Hey everybody, Kelly Engineer here, and welcome to episode 27 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I didn't really do much. I decided to just take a day off, really. So I did set up some quantum storage units to keep my, inventory, my drives from filling up. So that is set up. I also made a little space for the network bridge that we're going to assemble for the first part of this episode. Other than that, I didn't really hook up my soul binders or my slice and splices over here like I said I was going to. Like I said, I just decided to really take a break. But the first thing that we're going to do in this episode is we are going to make some quantum entangled singularities. So my matter condenser is working fantastically. It's getting quite a bit of stuff in there because thanks to Guru on in my comment section brought it to my attention that I can actually just throw in cobblestone. It doesn't have to be the item that was displayed here, so 64K ME storage components. For the entire time that I've been playing with AE2, I always thought it was the item that was displayed here. I had no idea I could throw in cobblestone. I could even throw in water if I wanted to, and it would count as the stored energy in order to make my singularities. So I have a total of 12 singularities right now, and I am going to make a network bridge for myself. Where are my singularities? There they are. All right, so I have 12 singularities, and I'm going to take one of them, and I'm also going to take an ender pearl out of my system, and I'm immediately going to throw a couple of those ender pearls into this sag mill right here. I need this ender pearl powder because this ender pearl powder is going to allow me to make ender dust, and ender dust combined with the singularity that I've made will allow me to make a quantum entangled singularity. So this is a little weird. If I go into the crafting terminal, remove that. This is not the one that I need, this ender pearl dust. Oh, it's not letting me switch the recipe. It absolutely should. There are two different recipes to use ender pearl powder with. Yeah, see, ender pearl powder used to make the ender pearl dust from IC2, and then ender pearl powder can make the portal gun or the ender dust. Oh, that is unfortunate. Alright, I'm going to try something very, very weird. I have one singularity. I also have the ender pearl dust. It's the wrong ender pearl dust. We're going to see whether or not it's going to work since it is made with the ender pearl powder. I'm not expecting this to work at all. Alright, here goes nothing. Hopefully I don't waste anything. Oh boy, okay, it worked. It definitely worked. I'm very, oh man, that's just so good. So you notice that out of that one singularity, I got two quantum entangled singularities. That's because these two are paired, and I'm immediately going to name them Ender IO. So both of these are now named Ender IO, and when I make my quantum bridge and I put them in there, it will know that these two are linked and they're supposed to be together. If I made another set of quantum entangled singularities, then they would be part of a different set. I could not mix and match the ones that would be created there. So now that those have been created, I'm going to start working on making the network bridge. So in order to make this, I'm going to need 2 quantum link chambers, which means I'm going to need 8 fluix pearls. Now this sag mill down here that I put the ender pearl in earlier, that is not specifically what it is for. If I get my wrench out, so you see that I have an import bus and an export bus in here. This export bus is only putting fluix crystals in here and leaving the pure fluix crystals on the inside. It is going to immediately grind those up and make the fluix dust powder. And this is good anyway because I'm going to need that in order to make the annihilation cores and the formation cores I've been making almost non-stop. I made 2 stacks of import and export buses in between episodes. Yeah, that was a lot of pistons. That was a lot of dust. So this is very good for me. I'm going to put those back. But now that I have these 8 fluix pearls, I just combine them with some quartz glass and get some quantum link chambers. The next thing I'm going to have to create are quantum rings, and that's going to require me to compress some more iron. I did have I had a barrel full of compressed iron earlier in the series, and I do not know where that went. I thought I transported those 2 barrels down here, but those 2 barrels are gone. The chest that was with the barrels remains, but the 2 barrels are gone, and that had quite a bit of AE2 goodies for me. So that's unfortunate, but this pack, like I said, stuff has been disappearing all all series. I can't explain why, but stuff it disappears from my inventory, disappears from my chests, and now whole chests are disappearing. Regardless, I do need to make some more compressed iron, and I'm also going to have to make an energy cell basic, which is super simple stuff. Alright, so I got my compressed iron, and we are ready to rock and roll. So, I'm going to throw all of that in here, and I'm going to need a total of 16 of these. Oh, did I not make enough oh, I only made 8 basic cells. That's perfectly fine. I can at least set up one of these for now. So this is a multi-block structure. All you have to do is just create a ring, and once you put in the link chamber into the center, you see that it just became a block. Now these lights right here are not lit up yet. They do need to be powered by something. So I'm going to get some more Flux cable, and we're going to connect it in the back. Alright, so I completely forgot that I have an ME cable already running, and that was providing power. So this thing was already powered to begin with. That's fine. So I went ahead and made my 8 more ME quantum rings, and just for demonstration's sake, we're going to place it right here. Whoops, wrong direction. Now that we have that, once again, put in the chamber, put in my Ender IO quantum entangled singularity, and so it is not powered. Both both ends of the bridge need to be powered in order to work properly, which is why I have a dense energy cell, an energy acceptor. There it goes. Alright, it is now lit up, which means a connection should be made between the two of these. So I'm just going to go grab a terminal real quick. This one ought to do. And there we go. I have this ME system connected up to this ME system. And this is how I'm going to... Oh, that is just really weird to look at. There we go. And this is how I'm going to end up connecting all of my ME systems throughout the base all into one location. And I'm about to actually start setting up that location during the next part of this episode. So I'm going to go get that ready. I'll be back with you shortly. Welcome to what will become the network room. So this room right here is actually quite a ways away from the Triskelion. It is on this tip right here. And every single one of my quantum network... my quantum networks will be inside this room right here. And I'm also... it's a little big, and I don't think I'm really going to have that many. I will find a way to make sure that this is the network room. Basically, what the end goal is going to be is every single one of my network bridges are going to be housed in here, and then from the top they're going to go all into just a massive storage unit across this wall. Across this wall. And this is going to be a mishmash of deep storage units, of black hole tanks, everything. Everything that I am going to create will be housed inside of this room. I've already made the elevators going in. Well, I haven't made the elevators themselves, but I've made the elevator shafts going inside and out of the area, and I can't wait for this to come together because the roof is just going to be, nothing but wires, basically. At the very least, that's what I have envisioned in my head, and I am happy to see it come into fruition. I have already made quantum entangled singularities for my ore processing room, my deep mob learning room, and the void miner room. Now I just actually need to create the network bridges themselves in order to put all of the stuff in there, and then I will connect them all up in here. The next thing that we're going to be doing is hooking up the deep mob learning quantum bridge. So I have right here this ME drive and this ME drive. What they're going to do is they're going to hook into these ender chests. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I took the ender chest from up in the main area, and yeah, I think that's going to work just fine using an import bus, but I'm not really sure. So I'm going to place that right here. And yeah, I'm going to hook in some import buses or some export buses to just go right from this ender chest into these ME drives. Once I hook the network bridge up in the network room, everything should work as intended. And sure enough, it does. So I have this hooked in now, and if I look in the terminal, you'll see that I am getting my deep mob learning stuff, but I also have the added benefit of being attached to the network with all of my Ender IO grabs. So Yeah, I am. This is going to end up becoming so amazing. But anyway, the next thing that I need to go work on are the ore processing, and this is the one I've been dreading because it's going to be quite a hassle to hook up, and I'm not even really sure where I'm going to put the bridge in the first place. Like I said, I'll figure it out, and it'll be perfectly fine. I'm also very happy that I decided to disable channels in this world because this would be an absolute nightmare if I had channels enabled. So with the way that the bridges work is they actually are a continuation of whatever network you happen to be working on. So if I had an ME controller and it had, say, 4 channels left in the cable going into this quantum ring, then on the output of the quantum ring, wherever I decided to put it, I would also only have 4 channels available to me. It would also have the problem of, say, on the other side, I decided to make another ME controller. Well, it would see that there are 2 separate controllers trying to be the lead on a network, and it would fail fantastically. So, like I said, I don't have channels to worry about in this world, and it's actually working to my benefit because, I am just so happy with this. I'm actually going to have to hold off on attaching a quantum bridge to the ore processing room and the void ore miner room. The reason being is because those are being tied directly into this ME system, and I have to detach everything that's inside this ME system into its own, ore processing and void ore mining system, because I have like all of the red sand and granite, stuff like that I'm getting from the void resource. All of that's going in here. I don't want it to. I'm going to have to export it all into its own separate system and then hook it in with the bridge. So yeah, we're going to hold off on that. Also, I have a bunch of deep mob learning stuff already in here, and I've begun the process of exporting it out into these memory cards so I can import them into its own system. But it's a lengthy process, and I want to move on to the next thing, which are making telepads. So this room right here is very far away, and I have to travel quite a ways. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty fast when flying, but I can make it a little bit quicker with the use of telepads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build these telepads, which are pretty simple now that I have the ability to make ender resonators. And does this have to be? Yeah, it has to be energized or octadic. That's fine. I think I have like 1,000 octadic capacitors at this point. So this is going to be pretty easy to make. But I'm going to make all of the piece parts. Oh, I'm going to have to make a little bit more conduit binder. But yeah, I'm going to make all of this stuff, and I'll be back with you to show you how the telepad is actually going to work. One of the things that I forgot to go over, what I did in between episodes, is I actually made paper hatchets, and I made them unbreakable to put in my slice and splices, and they are working fantastically. I actually made 6 of them, because eventually, once all of this is automated, I am going to have 6 slice and splices set up. And oh yeah, I also made a whole bunch of storage buses. So these are being connected to this ME system via storage buses. So I have all of my iron inside this black hole unit, and there's 132,000 of it. There's 132,000 of it here. And the way that I accomplish that is with the use of storage buses. So storage buses are I guess they kind of speak for themselves. They allow me to input and output things from the ME system. Instead of using drive space, I'm just using a regular old storage. I can attach this to a chest, or yeah, sorry for such a haphazard explanation. I'm debating whether or not to go into the basic AE2 stuff. So but yeah, I have the storage buses and I have these paper hatchets, and now I have these ender resonators so I can make my dialing devices. Sorry for the abrupt change in topic here, but my fission reactor for the TBU fuel, oh yeah, that'll do it. Well, it stopped working because apparently my TBU oxide fuel is not being processed quick enough. So I'm going to head down to the processing room, see what's going on with that, and why the heck... Yeah, that reactor should be running at all times, and I never went over that. I made the TBU fission reactor max size because I wanted it to go through fuel as quick as possible, and apparently that's working to my detriment because I'm not taking care of that fuel as quick as I could. So yeah, let's head down to processing and see where we're sitting on that. Oh, well, the LEU-233 is full, and that is not being accepted by my LEU fission reactor, so what's up with that? Oh, wow, troubleshooting is fun. Alright, and down to the LEU-233 fission reactor. That is very, very weird to me. So this reactor is working, but apparently the electromagnets are not pulling as much power as I thought. I should just switch to the fission reactor, and that should be perfectly fine. Correction, the fusion reactor, instead of using the TBU fission reactor as power. So yeah, my fusion reactor electromagnets just aren't taking as much power as I had hoped. Oh wow, my fusion reactor isn't even on. Oh yeah, I turned it off prior to making the backup. I completely forgot about that. Alright, so yeah, my fusion reactor is not on, which means anything that was being powered by my fusion reactor is also not being powered. Alright. I found the problem. So I updated the pack prior to starting episode 26, and apparently that changed some item IDs around, because this most certainly is not tritium. It's not a fuel that's going in here. So yeah, I don't know why this isn't... Well, if that isn't tritium, then why is this still tritium? Regardless, whatever fuel was it... I don't know what's wrong. This ender tank should have tritium in it. It should be feeding the fuel into my fusion reactor. It is no longer tritium. It looks like it's helium. So how the heck did helium get in this tank? Okay, yeah, that is the strangest thing. I just emptied all of the helium from this ender tank, and it immediately became tritium again. So yeah, I have never experienced that before. That's weird, but at the very least, now I have fuel on the inside of my reactor. And there we go, and it's now powered up. So, troubleshooting complete. Let's get back to the task at hand. So I have made my Telepath blocks, and I also have my dialing devices, but I need one more item, and that is the coordinate. If I could spell properly, here we go, coordinate selector. So the coordinate selector is going to allow me to choose a specific location and print it so I can put it into my dialing device and be able to dial it at any point. I'm going to head over to the network room and use the coordinate selector to actually get that piece of paper. I'm also going to set up the dialing device or the telepath blocks in that location as well. Alright, here we are. The telepath block is a 3x3x1 multi-block, and I'm also going to place down a dialing device. So the area where I want to teleport is right here, and I'm going to call it network room. Alright, and it just gave me a piece of paper called network room, so all I have to do is insert this. Oh, I of course need to power it, duh. So I'm going to head over back into the Ender IO room, put in, there we go, network room. So I have just, if I select this target and I want to teleport, I absolutely can. But I don't have any Dew of the Void, so if you look inside the telepath blocks, you'll see this tank right here. It requires Dew of the Void in order to actually transport me. And that requires me to get into the vat a little bit. I need to make some grains of pieziality and grains of the end. The pieziality are actually easy to make because it's just pulsating crystals, and those are super simple. However, the grains of the end are a little bit more difficult because I need ender crystals, and I have yet to automate that portion. So I am experiencing a little bit of a problem. Oh, that's the wrong one. So every once in a while, this ME system will lose all power, and it doesn't last very long, but it is enough to be bothersome, especially when I'm at this terminal. And I think it's because I was wrong regarding not having channels attached to my quantum bridge. I think that there is a... Yeah, I think there's a conflict between the two network bridges, because I have a network for the deep mob learning and I have the network here, and in the network room, they're both connected, and I think it's causing a conflict. In fact, I'm sure that it's causing a conflict. So by removing channels, it doesn't seem like I removed the problem of having, you know, I explained the having two controller problem earlier. I think that's the problem I'm seeing now, just without the controllers. So it's a problem I'm going to have to figure out how to work through. But in the meantime, I am going to keep working on getting a little bit of Do of the Void so I can actually show how the transporters are working. So I just about have all of the nutrient distillation made, and this should be the last bit of it. There it goes. All right, let's stop the water flow and get rid of you. All right, output tank done. All right, nutrient distillation in. And now we can finally make our Do of the Void. All right, and that's all she wrote. Why is this calling it Ender Distillation? This should be Do of the Void. Is Do of the Void called Ender Distillation? Huh, what do you know? Do of the Void is called Ender Distillation. I learned something. Well, anyway, I have this little bucket here, which means now we can get our telepads to work. All right, the Do of the Void is now inside my telepad. Let's try to teleport to the network room. Teleport was blocked. Well, a precursory look through the GitHub reveals that teleport blocked means that another mod is preventing me from actually using the Telepath block. And yeah, I'm not happy about that. Like I said, that's a precursory look and it could be something else. What I first assumed it was when I used the coordinate selector, I shift-clicked on this Telepath block, but this Telepath block is on Y level 113. So whenever I was trying to teleport here, I was trying to teleport in the middle of the Telepath block. So what I did is I made new ones with one Y level above and tried using that to teleport, and it was still blocked. So yeah, that's a little weird. So one of the things I was going to go over if the teleport had been successful was the fact that the telepad was using 50 millibuckets of Do of the Void every time that I attempted a teleport. So even though the teleport wasn't successful, it was still using that 50 millibuckets of Ender Distillation. I also discovered a bug, and it's a pretty fun bug, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to take advantage of it now that I know that it exists, but because Carry On is in the pack, I can shift right-click with an empty hand, this Telepath block, and pick it up. If I put it back down, you'll see that I'm having a little glitch fest here. So I can remove these blocks, and then get rid of the center, and now I can remove these blocks again. So I just duplicated all of these Telepath blocks, and yeah, that is a definite glitch that I'm going to have to get rid of these for. So, if you want to take advantage of it, if you don't feel like making all of the resources necessary, like these travel anchors really aren't that difficult to make, but yeah, whatever. If you want to take advantage of it, be my guest. I am not going to. I just wanted to show that it was a possibility. There we go. But I am ready to close out this episode. I was having so much fun that I am definitely over time right now, but that's, yeah, I was having fun, so what's the harm? But I am Kelly Engineering. Over the weekend, I have a 4-day weekend, so I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to do. I'm probably going to find out whatever mod is disabling my teleport and get rid of that because I want to use Telepath blocks. I'm also going to finish out some of the details, particularly on the network room, and I'm also going to figure out the ore processing and what is causing my my lapse on all of my networks. I also noted, I discussed it before, my Ender IO ME system blacks out sometimes and just removes all power. I thought it was some sort of network conflict, but I have yet to see it happen up here at my destination network bridges. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of troubleshooting on that as well. But I am Kelly Engineering, and I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.